Have you ever heard of the saying manners matter, good looks are a bonus, and humor is a must? If, like me, you like laughing, joking around, and people that have a sense of humor, you certainly agree with this. However, there are still people that refuse to take humor seriously. Especially in the workplace, people tend to stay away from humor because there are quite a few misconceptions about humor based on faulty thinking or facts that are simply wrong. In this video, I want to talk about 6 myths that people believe about humor and what we could do to get rid of them. Myth number 1. It takes too much time and or effort. You might think that as long as you're involved in making jokes or laughing, you are spending valuable time. Maybe you were told by a manager at work that if you hang out with your colleagues having fun, you are misusing, quote unquote, time that you could use to do work. Maybe in social gatherings, for one reason or another, you believe that if you are introduced to new people and you engage in humorous situations, you are wasting time that you could use to really get to know them. But none of this is true. At work, like the proverb says, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, spending all your time working and only working makes you bored and boring. This inevitably leads to reduced productivity and in the long run will do more damage than good to you, to your team, and to the company itself. Outside of work, engaging in humor has been proven to build trust, improve likability, and create relationships faster. Think, for instance, how important inside jokes are. People that have never met before, which create a private joke the very first time they meet, connect much quicker and stronger than people that maybe have known each other for quite a long time, but never have really laughed together. The time that people think is wasted in humor is in fact an investment for a better and more productive work and closer and more intimate relationships. Myth number 2. No fun can be had on my job, where I live, or insert situation of your choice. There is literally no job or place or situation where no fun can be had. You should only try to find what the particularities of that job or of the situation for that matter are. Once you do that, it will be very easy to see even little things that could be subject to humor. I have myself been through some difficult times in my life, and honestly, finding humor when you're in that state of mind, when you're self-absorbed, is quite impossible. Not just that, it generally feels irritating when you see and hear other people engaging in humor and having fun. I have lived that. Let me tell you, it's not healthy at all because it sends you in a downward spiral. While being generous with humor, if not engage in it, then just accept it when it's coming from people around you, will break the pattern and you will immediately feel the benefit of it. That is where you start, with the little things. Why? Well, because that is what we encounter on a daily basis. And once we get into the habit of taking the daily things lightly, our humor resources start to expand, and it will become very easy for us to find things that make our job or the place where we live or the situation we are in more fun, or at the very least more tolerable. If people were able to find humor under the Nazi regime in concentration camps, so can you. Myth number 3. Nobody will take me seriously. Having a sense of humor is in fact just not taking yourself too seriously, and also not taking the things that you have no control over too seriously. As a matter of fact, you taking yourself too seriously makes others take you too seriously. Nothing good can come of this. For one, you taking yourself too seriously eventually increases your stress levels, which, needless to say, has a negative impact on every area of your life. And then others taking you too seriously discourages them from wanting to approach you, to create friendships and relationships with you, and in the workplace it leads to you not being seen or considered as a leader or as someone who deserves to be a leader. Nonetheless, keep in mind that not taking things too seriously and not taking the right things at the right time seriously are two completely different things. You can do both. You laugh at the little things that you have to deal with every day and things that you have no control over, and things that you can control and that you can work on, you take them seriously. Once people see that you can do both, they will take you seriously in the right amount. Myth number 4, it's unprofessional. Some people believe that humor in the workplace is unprofessional, that by employing your sense of humor, you are not taking your job seriously. Again, having a sense of humor is not about not taking things seriously. It's about not taking things too seriously. Taking anything too seriously induces more stress and anxiety into your life. As a result, lowering productivity and reducing creativity in the workplace, which harms, of course, more than helps your work. By making small jokes here and there with colleagues, by coming up with something humorous during a presentation, or just smiling and being open to others' sense of humor, you reduce your stress levels, which opens the way to your full resources of creativity, motivation of yourself and others, a more enjoyable workplace, higher productivity. The best part of it all is that it goes in a cycle. The more open you are to engage in humor in the workplace, the higher productivity. High productivity accompanied by humor will give way to even more creative thinking, less stress, a joyful workplace, more motivated people, and on it goes. Myth number 5, humor is clowning. Having a sense of humor is not about telling jokes all the time, or laughing all day long, or making others laugh at everything. What it is about is putting things into perspective at work and on our day-to-day life, realizing how futile it is to take things too seriously, and then trying even just a little to make everything more enjoyable and less serious for us and everyone around us. Like Steve Goodyear puts it, a sense of humor helps us to get through the dull times, cope with the difficult times, enjoy the good times, and manage the scary times. And myth number 6, one is born with it. This is probably the most popular myth on humor. You either have it or you don't. Humor is like a muscle. You have to continuously feed it, exercise it, stretch it if you want to develop it. Only then will it do its job. Humor can start with just smiling, then being able to take jokes. Then you start making jokes. You keep doing this on a daily basis, and then one day you notice that all these come naturally to you, every day, even when you're having a difficult time. Having a sense of humor is an ability. It can be learned. Humor is so important to incorporate into our everyday life, just for the sake of having fun ourselves, to manage a difficult situation, to build good and strong relationships, to increase our impact in the workplace and everywhere else for that matter. Humor can do it all. If you ever believed in any of the myths that I mentioned, now is time to let them go and reap the benefits of having a sense of humor. In case you haven't seen it, I have another video on humor. I'll put the link right up here. Go check it out. And as usual, I will see you guys next week.